The hip-hop world just witnessed chaos on a level no one saw coming. Boosie Badazz has officially exploded on T.I. and King Harris, and the reason? They allegedly mocked 50 Cent's family, and things got downright ugly. This isn't your everyday internet beef. This is full-blown celebrity confrontation with family loyalty on the line. Boosie didn't hold back. He went hard, calling out both father and son for crossing a line that most in the industry know is untouchable. You don't touch someone's family. You don't mock their loved ones. And yet, King Harris reportedly stepped right into dangerous territory, dragging 50 Cent's family into the mess, and Boosie made sure everyone knew he would not stand for it. Fans are losing it over the intensity of this clash. Social media timelines are flooded with reactions, clips, and heated debates. The moment Boosie dropped his statements, the culture collectively paused. This isn't just a diss track or a live argument. This is raw emotion, personal jabs, and years of tension exploding at once. People are asking, how far will this go? Is T.I. going to defend his son, or has Boosie set a line that nobody can cross? The stakes have never been higher, and the fallout is just beginning. If you thought rap beefs were only about music and bars, think again. This is about respect, legacy, and family, and Boosie is making sure that lesson hits hard. Everyone watching knows one thing: when family is involved, there's no holding back, and the consequences could change the game entirely. Boosie Badazz didn't just speak, he lit up the entire situation like a wildfire. Social media erupted the second his statements hit the timeline. The story had already been brewing for weeks. King Harris had been throwing shots at 50 Cent online, stepping into territory that no young artist should tread lightly, mocking a family man, dragging someone's loved ones into a public feud. And T.I., as King's father and a rap legend in his own right, was being forced into a position he likely never wanted, defending his son in a battle that escalated beyond music. Boosie, never one to shy away from conflict, went full force, calling out both of them for stepping over a line that's been clear in hip-hop for decades. The unwritten rule is simple: you never disrespect someone's family. That includes their mother, partner, or children. It's a line that even the hardest rappers know not to cross, because once you bring family into a feud, it stops being about music and starts being personal. And in this situation, Boosie made it crystal clear: King Harris and T.I. had crossed that boundary. The timing of Boosie's response couldn't have been more explosive. King's live streams had already gone viral, with tens of thousands of viewers witnessing his unfiltered remarks. People were stunned at how young King was standing up, defending his mother and his household, and simultaneously taking shots at 50 Cent's personal history. Boosie didn't just react. He broke down why this was dangerous, not only for King's career, but for the entire Harris family. "You gotta understand," Boosie said, "there are things you don't touch. And when you disrespect a man's family, especially someone like 50, it ain't just a joke, it's a warning." Fans online were split instantly. Some applauded King for showing loyalty and defending family honor. Others questioned whether T.I. had properly guided his son, or if the situation had gotten too heated too fast. Boosie addressed that as well, making it clear that parents in the industry have to manage both fame and family safety, because once things get personal, the game changes. Social media, viral posts, and old footage can all spiral into real-world consequences when respect is violated. Boosie went further, dissecting the underlying tension that led to King Harris's actions. He reminded everyone that 50 Cent has always been a master of controlling public narratives. For decades, he's used social media, interviews, and even old court clips to manipulate the conversation. He's faced rivals like Ja Rule, Rick Ross, and The Game, and he knows exactly how to turn attention into media currency. Boosie warned that King stepping into this arena wasn't just about bars or diss tracks, it was stepping into a lion's den. The breakdown didn't stop there. Boosie highlighted the ripple effect that this feud could create. "It's not just about your name," he said. "It's about everyone in your circle. The family, friends, supporters, when you cross a line, they all get caught in it." His words weren't empty threats. They were a reality check for the Harris family. Boosie emphasized that King's emotional outbursts were understandable but reckless. The digital world watches, and what happens online can have real-life consequences. Boosie also took a moment to address T.I. directly. He acknowledged Tip's legacy, his contributions to hip-hop, and his role as a father, but he didn't sugarcoat the responsibility that comes with raising a son in the public eye. "You gotta guide him," Boosie said. "You gotta set boundaries. Fame doesn't excuse ignorance. You gotta protect your family, not just your career." Every word was a lesson wrapped in a warning, and fans couldn't get enough. Clips of Boosie's statements were shared across Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube within minutes, sparking a cultural conversation about loyalty, respect, and generational gaps in hip-hop. Meanwhile, King Harris's posts continued to fuel the fire. He wasn't backing down, doubling down on his claims about 50 Cent while unintentionally dragging the family into a storm that Boosie warned about. Social media exploded with debate. Was King justified in defending his household, or had he underestimated the power of 50 Cent's reach? Analysts and commentators weighed in, dissecting every clip, every post, every lyric for meaning. Boosie's intervention became a central piece of the puzzle. He was the voice of experience, telling the young generation exactly what they were getting into. And the story only got heavier when Boosie revealed something fans hadn't considered. King Harris wasn't just dealing with a rival artist. He was facing someone who could manipulate public perception, twist narratives, and control the conversation on a global scale. Boosie broke down 50 Cent's history of turning conflicts into profit, showing why what might seem like a playful feud could easily become dangerous. The warnings weren't theoretical. They were rooted in decades of hip-hop history. By the end of Boosie's statement, one thing was clear. This wasn't just another rap argument. It was a full-scale cultural moment. The Harris family was under scrutiny, fans were engaged, and the stakes had never been higher. Boosie didn't just criticize. He educated, warned, and reminded everyone of a simple truth in hip-hop. Family comes first, and disrespecting that can change everything. As Boosie's words echoed across social media, the Harris family found themselves at the center of a storm that showed no signs of slowing. King Harris, emboldened by his father's guidance and his own raw emotions, wasn't pulling back. Every post, every story, every live clip he shared intensified the tension, and the internet couldn't stop watching. The energy had shifted. It was no longer just a rap feud. It was a full-blown culture moment, one that drew in fans, commentators, and rival artists alike. King's actions put T.I. in an impossible position. Tip, a veteran of the industry who had seen countless rivalries, knew the delicate balance between standing by family and avoiding unnecessary escalation. But the way King handled the situation, throwing shots at 50 Cent, referencing his family, and ignoring the potential consequences, left Tip with little choice. He had to intervene, not only as a father, but as a figure responsible for guiding the narrative before it spiraled further. Yet, even with his intervention, the damage had been done. Clips of King defending his mother, his household, and his honor were circulating across the globe, making the feud more personal than ever. Meanwhile, 50 Cent, true to his masterful trolling nature, was watching and waiting. Every post King made was fuel for the fire. Fifth's team of affiliates, longtime collaborators, and internet strategists knew exactly how to capitalize on the tension. They posted throwback photos, subtle captions, and cryptic videos, ensuring that the story stayed trending. King had stepped into a world where experience and cunning outweighed raw emotion, and it was only a matter of time before the consequences began to surface. The situation escalated further when Boosie broke down the real dangers of social media warfare. "It's one thing to go at someone in the booth, it's another thing to let it spill into real life," he said. He pointed out how young artists often miscalculate the reach and influence of someone like 50 Cent, whose career spans decades and whose online presence can manipulate millions in seconds. Boosie reminded fans that every action has consequences, and when family gets involved, the fallout can be unpredictable and lasting. Social media exploded with speculation. Fans dissected every clip, every lyric, and every post from both sides. Analysts debated King's approach. Was he standing up for his family, or was he provoking a veteran who could turn public opinion against him? Meanwhile, Tia had to manage not only his son, but the larger narrative. Every statement he made, every interview he gave, was scrutinized. The pressure wasn't just online. The cultural stakes were real, and every move mattered. Adding to the chaos, whispers about potential real-world consequences started to surface. 50 Cent's affiliates, known for their loyalty and influence, were reportedly mobilizing to respond in ways beyond social media. While nothing official had happened, the tension was palpable, and fans were concerned that the feud could spill over into dangerous territory. Boosie addressed this directly, warning that escalation beyond words could have serious repercussions. He emphasized the need for caution while still defending the principle that family honor should never be violated. King Harris, however, remained defiant. He released a series of posts and videos that doubled down on his stance, showing no fear and making it clear he wouldn't let anyone disrespect his household. Each clip was more intense than the last, highlighting his growth as an artist and his willingness to stand on principle, even when facing one of the most formidable figures in hip-hop. The internet ate it up. Every share, every comment, every reaction fueled the story further. Boosie also spoke about the long-term implications for King. "This isn't just about clout," he said. "It's about respect, legacy, and understanding the game before you get too deep." He explained that younger artists often underestimate how a single post or live session could define public perception for years. Boosie's insight added depth to the narrative, reminding fans that this feud was not just entertainment, it was a lesson in hip-hop dynamics, family loyalty, and street wisdom. The story continued to grow as T.I. tried to contain the situation. He appeared in interviews and podcasts, emphasizing that while he supported his son, there were boundaries that needed to be respected. He reiterated the unspoken rules of the culture: never drag family into public disputes and never disrespect those who aren't part of the original beef. Yet, despite his efforts, the conversation had already spread beyond control. Every post from King, every statement from Boosie, and every cryptic social media move from 50 Cent created waves across the hip-hop community, making it impossible to step back. Meanwhile, 50 Cent capitalized on the chaos. Using his knowledge of public perception, he posted subtle messages, old photos, and videos that kept fans guessing. His approach was strategic: stir emotion, maintain control, and let the audience fuel the frenzy. King's raw energy collided with Fifth's calculated moves, creating a perfect storm of emotion, strategy, and online frenzy. In the middle of it all, Boosie remained the voice of reason and warning. He highlighted how quickly things could escalate, not just online but in real life. He reminded fans that respect is everything in hip-hop, and once a line is crossed, there's no easy way back. He also addressed the younger generation, warning them about the risks of engaging with veterans who know the game inside and out. The stakes have never been higher. King Harris continues to defend his household with fire and passion. T.I. is navigating the delicate balance between fatherhood and public image, and 50 Cent remains the master tactician, turning every reaction into attention and influence. Boosie's commentary serves as both a warning and a guide, providing context that the average fan might not see. The feud has now become a defining moment in modern hip-hop culture, a clash between legacy, family, and ambition. Fans are glued to every update, every post, every reaction. Podcasts, YouTube channels, and news outlets dissect every detail, fueling the discussion and ensuring that the story continues to trend worldwide. What started as a series of posts and live reactions has morphed into a multi-layered drama involving family, respect, and the raw energy of hip-hop's new generation. The tension is real, the stakes are high, and everyone is watching. As Part 2 closes, one thing is clear: this feud is far from over. King Harris is proving he's not just T.I.'s son, he's a force in his own right, willing to stand on his principles even when facing one of the most experienced and formidable figures in the game. The world waits to see what happens next, knowing that any move could escalate the drama even further. As March 2026 rolled in, the tension between King Harris, T.I., and 50 Cent reached a boiling point. The feud had escalated from social media posts to diss tracks, viral videos, and heated commentary from legends like Boosie Badazz. Every move was being watched, dissected, and debated. Fans were divided, some praising King for defending his family, others warning him that he had crossed into dangerous territory. One thing was certain, this wasn't just a rap feud anymore. It had become a cultural moment, drawing in commentary from all corners of hip-hop. King Harris had proven he wasn't backing down. His tracks, clips, and live streams showed raw emotion and determination. But the intensity of the feud began to take a toll. Sources close to the Harris family revealed that King had been under incredible pressure, balancing school, his music, and public scrutiny, while constantly reacting to 50 Cent's provocations. Even T.I., who had always managed his public image carefully, admitted privately that this situation had put the entire family in danger. Boosie's warnings had never been more relevant. He spoke directly about the real risks of online warfare, explaining that while the digital audience may cheer for clout, the reality is different. Once family and personal history are involved, the stakes move from entertainment to real-life consequences. And that's exactly what happened. Rumors began circulating that affiliates connected to 50 Cent had been tracking interactions, creating fear that things could escalate offline. The internet frenzy had spilled into whispers of real-world conflict. Despite the chaos, T.I. remained the stabilizing force. On multiple podcasts and interviews, he emphasized the importance of family and respect. He reminded fans that hip-hop had always had unwritten rules. You never attack someone's loved ones, and there's a line you don't cross. Yet, the reality was, King had already crossed that line, defending his mother and household with ferocity. Tip's challenge was now to guide his son through the aftermath without letting things spiral completely out of control. Meanwhile, 50 Cent executed his signature strategy. He cleaned up his Instagram to remove direct posts about T.I. and King, but continued to drop cryptic images, old photos, and subtle jabs online. Every move was calculated to maintain attention and keep the feud trending without overtly escalating the situation publicly. Fans dissected every caption and emoji, trying to decode his next steps. Fifth was playing the long game, while King Harris was reacting in real time, a classic clash of experience versus raw emotion. The world of commentary exploded. Analysts, podcasters, and YouTubers dissected every clip, post, and lyric. Boosie remained vocal, praising King's loyalty and passion while cautioning about the dangers of escalation. Charlemagne the God, DJ Academics, and others weighed in, debating who had the upper hand and whether the feud could ever be resolved. Every day brought new reactions, adding fuel to a fire that seemed impossible to extinguish. Then came a turning point. King Harris, exhausted from the constant barrage, was reportedly hospitalized after an altercation with individuals allegedly affiliated with 50 Cent. Details remained murky, but the reports shocked fans worldwide. T.I., visibly emotional in public appearances, broke down on camera, urging calm and emphasizing that family comes first. "I raised my son to defend what's ours," he said, "but I also raised him to survive." The statement resonated deeply. This wasn't just about rap anymore. It was about loyalty, legacy, and protecting loved ones. Boosie reacted immediately, condemning any actions that threatened King's safety. He reminded fans that the line between digital feuds and real-life danger was thin, and once crossed, there's no going back. "You can't fight online like this and not expect consequences," he said. "Family is sacred. Respect that or get hurt." His comments highlighted the gravity of the situation, turning the story from entertainment into a cautionary tale for aspiring artists. Meanwhile, 50 Cent maintained his calculated distance. Publicly, he remained quiet, but behind the scenes, he continued leveraging the situation for attention and influence. Fans speculated about his next move, whether he would respond musically, socially, or through his network. Fifth's strategy was clear: keep the audience engaged without making direct moves that could escalate the feud publicly. King Harris, though recovering, remained defiant. His social media updates were carefully crafted to maintain his position while signaling that he hadn't backed down. The internet reacted in real time, with millions following every post, video, and clip. The story had evolved into a multi-layered narrative, a collision of music, family, street code, and online culture. It was a defining moment for the new generation of hip-hop. As March drew to a close, it became evident that this feud had changed the rules for how family, legacy, and respect are treated in the digital age. What started as a rap challenge had become a lesson in loyalty, consequences, and influence. King Harris had proven his courage, T.I. had showcased his leadership, and 50 Cent had demonstrated the power of strategy and patience. Boosie's voice served as both commentary and caution, reminding the culture that once lines are crossed, there's no easy way back. The story isn't over. New songs, reactions, and commentary continue to surface, keeping fans on edge. Every day brings new developments, and the world watches closely. In the end, this isn't just a feud between artists, it's a lesson on family, respect, and the consequences of crossing boundaries in hip-hop. The legacy of this moment will be remembered for years, shaping how the next generation navigates loyalty, fame, and conflict. The drama between King Harris, T.I., 50 Cent, and Boosie Badazz isn't just another rap feud. It's a full-blown cultural explosion, and the world is watching every move. From family being dragged into the chaos to viral diss tracks, shocking live streams, and real-life consequences, this story has it all. Fans are divided, opinions are heated, and every social media post is dissected like a headline. The question is, who really has the upper hand, and where does loyalty end while chaos begins? If you've been following this wild ride, you know it's more than entertainment. It's a lesson in respect, boundaries, and how quickly digital beef can spiral into real-life danger. King Harris has proven he will defend his family at all costs. T.I. has shown he will protect his legacy, and 50 Cent is playing his signature game of strategy and influence. And let's not forget Boosie, who isn't afraid to call out the truth, no matter how messy it gets. So here's the deal, the story is far from over. Every clip, every post, every reaction adds fuel to a fire that's already burning hotter than ever. You need to stay locked in because the next move could drop at any second, and missing it means missing the moment hip-hop culture will be talking about for years. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe now for all the latest updates. Don't scroll past, the drama is real, the stakes are high, and every second counts. Watch, react, and be part of history as it unfolds.